Time frame, images of a generation. We grew up in a simpler time. We sang.
Say, kids, what time is it?
M-I-C-K-E-Y-M-O-U-S-E. We laughed.
Hello, boy.
I can't believe I ate that whole thing.
We cried.
President Kennedy died at 1 p.m. Central Standard Time.
He's been shot. Lee Oswald has been shot.
We fought. We loved. We were attacked.
Japanese have attacked Pearl Harbor, Hawaii by air.
Our flag was still there. Now these memories come to life on posters that can be yours today. Go to howdyboomy.com for your copies today. That's howdyboomy.com. howdyboomy.com.
Welcome to the Howdy Boomy Show. I hope you go to the website, howdyboomy.com, see what it's going to become. It's going to become a must-to website for all the baby boomers in the country. We're going to start a new movement, refresh old memories, refresh old values, get rid of this woke mentality that's taking over the country via this administration, via the media, and come back to more normal life America as we knew it back in the days of the baby boomers. Some things never change. Today in the news was a National Guardsman leaked some information about the war, top secret, how he did it. Nobody really knows, but they're starting to wonder why if this guy can do it, who's really a novice in the computer industry, can hack into files and have top secret information on the web. What can the Russians do? What can the Chinese do? And they're saying the information that's going out is, in some ways, could be like a whistleblower, because there's $200 billion worth of our money going over to the Ukraine, and you want to see where it's going. Now, the Ukraine has been known for years and years of corruption. If you remember, our old pal Hunter Biden was a liaison from our government to their government at $83,000 a month. And now we are sending $200 billion to fight the Russian war by our administration, who's happened to be named Biden. So you begin to wonder, with the corruption in Ukraine, with the connection from the last name Biden to the Ukraine, how much of this $200 billion is steered towards the Ukraine, with maybe some agreements, maybe some graft, maybe some payments. We'll never know. Not the way this administration operates. But it's scary about now how our information, our secrets, can be hacked into by an ordinary citizen, seemingly. And we have to worry about that. Speaking of Hunter Biden, it was sort of interesting. Joe is in Ireland right now. And a young kid, 7, 8 years old, as Joe and Hunter Biden are walking through a hallway or walking through a courtyard, asked the President of the United States, what are the steps, what are the secrets to success? Joe Biden could not understand the question. He had no idea what the kid was saying. Hunter Biden had to explain to his father what the question was. Joe babbled on something and just said he could ask somebody else about that. It's sort of an embarrassment when a young kid asks the President of the United States, the leader of the free world, a question, and he has no clue what the kid said, has no clue what the answer is. It makes you wonder about the mental capabilities of our commander-in-chief. If you are an ally looking at this, you're shaking your head. If you are an adversary looking at this, you're smiling. You realize how weak this leadership is and the damage that you can do on this country because of that lack of leadership. Now you sit there and you saw the reaction, the interaction between Hunter Biden and his father. And all throughout this episodes of looking after Hunter Biden and looking at the dealings that he has with China, with the Ukraine, with all kinds of people, how money is being funneled through him to the family for years. And Joe says he never knows anything about Hunter Biden's dealings. Well, now they're coming out with visitor logs that a bunch of Hunter Biden's coordinates, both his friends, his business people, met with Joe Biden in the White House. Attorneys met with Joe Biden in the White House. Before Hunter Biden was subpoenaed, strangely enough, they met with Joe Biden. Before the dealings took place between Hunter Biden, China, Ukraine, who knows what else, they met with Joe Biden. Now you look at the interaction between a father and a son. Do you think they don't talk to each other? Take a look at, let's say, the Bush family. You started with George W. Bush back in World War II being shot down, winding up in Texas politics, winding up eventually President of the United States. His sons, Jeb, Florida governor, G.W., Texas governor, eventually President of the United States, they talk to each other. When you have dynasties that are built on families, there has to be communication. You know they talk to each other. You have a Biden administration, a dynasty. Joe has been in public office for almost 50 years now. And you know they say power corrupts, and absolute power corrupts absolutely. It's sort of, Joe has done this all his life. It is documented. If you ask people in Delaware, if you ask people who know the Biden family, they sell their influence. That's how Joe got to be so rich. Joe knows what they're doing. Joe steers people towards things. Joe benefits from it. That's the way he does business all his life. He's still doing business that way because that's all he knows. So when you see the interaction between Joe Biden and Hunter Biden, it's a typical father and son. It's a typical dynasty type of communication where you have to talk to each other. You're at ease talking to each other. And the notion that he never did, has no clue what Hunter Biden is doing, just doesn't hold water. And it's a shame that we have to get subpoenas to find this stuff out. We're finding out more and more about the corruption that's going on in our government. We're finding out more and more what a swamp it is. We're finding out more and more that daily guys like you and I almost don't stand any chance of what's going on in Washington, D.C. because we have no influence. It's money that walks the world down there. There was a gentleman I talked to who was a staff member of one of the congressmen and said they are invited to 20 to 30 cocktail parties every day. Cocktail parties hosted by businesses and entities that funnel money to Congress. And they said, if you wanted to have your voice heard as an individual, as a constituent, you would probably have to handcuff yourself to the congressman's door, get pressed to cover it. That's the only way they would let you in to talk. That's how bad it's gotten in Washington, D.C., and it's been that way for years, decades. Power corrupts. Absolute power corrupts absolutely. And that's what we have in the White House right now. Have a great day. We're going to take the country back. We're going to go back to the days of America is the greatest country in the world. We're going to be told that. We're not going to be told that we're the problem in the world. We're the greatest country in the world. That's why so many people want to come here. Right now, there are 40,000 immigrants amassed at the border, want to flow through the border because some deadlines are coming about where they can come in. So it's going to be absolutely amazing what goes on here. I feel sorry for the Border Patrol. I feel sorry for the people on the southern border of our country. They get swamped. Why? Because there is an open door policy. You see now where the DACA people are going to be eligible, 40 million people for Medicare, Medicaid, health benefits. We pay for everybody. They want aliens to be able to vote in our election. Try voting in France's election or Puerto Rico's election or Italy's election and see what happens. Have a great day. See you soon. God bless you. God bless the United States of America.